All right, I want to welcome everyone to the AdCast. Today I have the social media queen, the queen A, Annika. She handles our social media marketing and all for our clients and also for here at VIP Marketing and Craft Creative. And today we're going to talk a lot of social media stuff. So I hope everyone's ready for all that we have in store.
You're listening to the AdCast.
There's three things that I tell people to focus on. That's your budget, your media, and your message.
People gon' call it the truth.
Every day I'm hustling.
If you hustle, you'll never go hungry.
Hustle and motivate. That's why they follow me, huh? They think I know the way. You're listening to the AdCast.
Annika, welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
You are in the building, and we've never had you on the AdCast. You're one of the
Yeah.
only members of the team that has never been on the AdCast.
Well, that's what you're telling me.
Yeah. So are you excited?
I'm very excited, a little nervous.
All right. No, don't be nervous. So today we're going to talk about something that we're very familiar with and something that our team, we pride ourselves on, and it's some social media content. Now, there's been a lot happening in terms of social media. One of the big things that's been a real shakeup for me, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, is when the Disney CEO leaves Disney to go work at TikTok. I'll say it one more time. The CEO of Disney leaves to go work at TikTok, right?
Right.
So to me, this should tell business owners that this is bigger than just, cute photos and videos. Like, we had Chad Israel on, on our podcast some time ago. And we talked about how this isn't just social media. This is ad networks at its best.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And so, Disney taking over TikTok, I don't think that's exactly, it's very shocking. But Disney being the mogul that they are, I think it's a move in the right direction for that CEO. He has a lot of big ideas. And I think TikTok is becoming that big idea. It's very similar to Instagram and Facebook where you just keep scrolling. There's always content and it's engaging. People could go on to TikTok and just scroll for hours and you look up at the clock, you're like, oh my gosh, it's midnight. It's time for bed. But it's so engaging and it's what people want to see and it gets a conversation started. So I think Disney CEO going over to TikTok, it's not a surprise. I think he's probably going to move TikTok into a different space.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I always say people go to social media when they want to waste time or be entertained.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Waste time or be entertained. And you just mentioned the scroll. I'm going to just put my wife out there because she will send me TikTok videos all day.
Yes.
And she will spend minutes. I don't want to embarrass her. A lot of minutes,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes at a time grouped together. Okay, so I don't want to say hours. I just said it. And so she'll spend all this time looking at different TikTok videos. So now let's talk about that infinite scroll.
So the infinite scroll is just, it's like I said before, it's when you just keep going and there's never a stopping point. Before there was Facebook by itself. And you would get to that point where it's like, oh, show more content, see more.
Right.
Now that Facebook took over Instagram, because Instagram had that idea, I believe it was on Abstract on Netflix,
Right.
where the designer of Instagram actually went through and talked about
the logo change.
Yes. And then beyond the logo change, the style, the design, and how people actually interact with the app.
Right.
So Instagram implemented that infinite scroll. Facebook saw that and wanted more of it. So they obviously, 2012, took over Instagram, that big change. So they now have very similar features. But one thing that Facebook adopted from Instagram was that infinite scroll to see more content. You have, maybe thousands of friends on Facebook, but you only see about 20 of those friends and what they post because that's who you interact the most with. Facebook has an algorithm that they've implemented into Facebook and Instagram. So you're only seeing content that they think you want to see, and that's kind of interesting, especially with marketing and advertising, is that, you think that you have all these separate ideas, these individual ideas, like, oh yeah, well, I saw this on Facebook, I'm so cool.
Right.
No, Facebook planted that there. Advertisers planted that there. You're being sold to all the time, even on social media where you're trying to waste time and be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
So you're only seeing the information that Facebook thinks you want to see every time you like a new page, every time you like a new post, or you even visit someone's profile. They think, well, whatever that person liked, you must like too, because you were interested in their stuff.
Right.
So it starts feeding into your feed. I mean, I think that might be why it's actually called a feed, is because you're being fed information.
Bits and pieces of little information that actually keep you there for hours.
Hours, yes.
Right? So I think if the majority of people were to look at their phones right now and look at the screen time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would see that they're spending an enormous amount of time probably in an app or a social app that's more entertaining. So now that people are spending more time watching their second screen, should that be called their first screen now? They're spending more time watching that than they were watching on television.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I know I'm guilty of it. I'm sure you are too.
I'm not.
You go, you're the worst one. If anything, you go home, you turn on Netflix, like Ozarks or something that you're really into, and you also have your phone,
Mm-hmm.
and you're scrolling through social media or TikTok, and Twitter. That's my poison is Twitter. So you're scrolling, and you look up every once in a while to watch what's on TV, but it's always that multitasking sort of deal. I think everyone's very much in the fast lane now with everything that they do.
Yep.
So slowing it down, is almost impossible at this point. And social media is the most antisocial thing there is. You think that you're interacting with all these people, but it almost makes us antisocial creatures. I mean, how many times do you walk into an elevator now and talk to the people that you're in the elevator with? I mean, pre-COVID. You automatically go to your phone because that's your security blanket.
It's your safe place.
It's your safe place. And on the other hand, you go and you talk to so many people. There's dating apps that have connected multiple people and have, foundations for several successful relationships. So social media connects people in ways that they wouldn't have before. But at the same time, it's that security blanket. It's intimate. So one thing that we tell clients is you want your social media to be almost like a dating profile for you. For your business, to show them and kind of get into that intimate space with them, to make them kind of, read about you, learn about you in their intimate security space.
So let's say now we just said that the mobile phone is in the apps, the social apps now, they're getting so much attention. It's almost like this is your first screen. So the advertisers, like in 2017, 2018, digital ad spending for the first time beat traditional or television ad spending. And it's not going to change, right? So when folks set up campaigns before and they led with television first and they looked at social media as something that should just be on the checklist, like, oh, I have a company Facebook page, or I have a company Twitter, or a company Instagram, where should they direct their attention first now when they're launching campaigns or even building a brand?
So I think it's all starts with how you want to perceive yourself. So you said brand. Brand is your name. It's, even like Eric Elliott. When people hear that name, they associate it with you and
That's a
who
great
you
brand.
are.
It's a great brand.
It's all right. Not mad at it. People know who you are. They know your family. They know your business. They know your characteristics. It's the same thing with any brand name, any name that you hear. If something were to happen, with that brand, it stays with it. It's a trail that just keeps leading. So you want your brand to have that foundation where people know who you are and know what you stand for.
So it's a way to show authenticity.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing that I have is the 5 W's of social media marketing.
What are they?
So it's who. So who do you want to reach? It's your target audience. Now, this is all what you want on your Facebook or your social media. What is your goal? You want people to know what's your goal. Why do you have a business? Where do you serve? What's your location? Are you just in Charleston, or are you all across the United States? And again, we go into why. Why is your business a thing? And how? You have your steps, your plans. How do you want to get clientele? Again, I say, Facebook is any social media platform you go on to learn more about a brand or a business or a company. If you go on and the Facebook is blank and it has like a, not that great logo that you found on Google Images, and just kind of says, XYZ firm. Well, that doesn't tell me a lot about who you are. You could have like a picture of the outside of your building. So I know you have a location, but where is it? I want to know as much as I can about you. And I think we're in the habit of going to the internet for everything. We always Google whatever we can. So if you are looking for a new service, I know this is going to sound so girly, but like eyebrows. So like eyebrow services.
I don't use that.
Well, your girl does. So being new to the Charleston area, I will just Google, like eyebrow tinting, eyebrow threading, and it brings up all these places that have different services that have to do with, if they do eyebrows or whatnot, hairstylists, etc. I'll go onto their website. For starters, if the website's kind of like iffy, I'll be like, okay, well, let's look at their social media. I go through their social media. I look at their Facebook page. I look at reviews on their social media. I look at the pictures that clients have maybe taken, or if the business took while the clients were there. So it's not, social media is not just that thing that, I'm just going to update my friends, let them know.
I got one, take it off the list.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, it shouldn't be on that to-do list of, okay, well, I started a company. Let me start a Facebook page for it. It's almost an extension. Actually, it is an extension of not only your website, but your brand.
I do agree with you. I think whenever someone's running an ad, a commercial, you have 15 seconds or 30 seconds to give your PowerPoint presentation to people. That's exactly what it is. And your job in that ad is to be able to influence them to make a decision or look into your services. I believe businesses should pay more attention to social media, because if they are trying to influence people to pay attention to their services, or really to see the authenticity of their brand, they should focus more on their social. And it goes way beyond, my niece knows how to post on my Facebook page, or I hired a girl that likes Facebook. She likes Facebook, so she can do it. So should this, in your expert opinion, this should be something that brands really, really need to focus on, correct?
Correct. Yes. And I think that's an interesting point too. Well, my niece knows how to post on Facebook. She knows how to post. She knows how to hit post. She doesn't know the content. She doesn't know the algorithm. She doesn't know how to really work it and engage people, and especially the audience that you want.
Right.
You could just invite everyone on your friends list, like your mom, your dad, your uncle, your brothers, but are they going to be giving you service? Are they going to be giving you business? Probably not. Maybe at first to support you,
right?
But you want to gain an audience that not only will continue to come back, but will tell people about your business. So you want your social media to reflect that ever-growing, let's let's talk more about the business. Let's talk more about what I can do for you.
So should the business owner be on the social media page, or should it just be just a sterile page with a bunch of cute flowers and this is our office today?
No, the business owner should be involved. I think the business owner, not necessarily has a say in it, but they should have that face. They should have that interaction with people. It's like, you want to see who's behind the curtains of everything, the Oz, the magical Oz.
Right.
I think it's important to have a marketing team that can control and, not control, but work with you to build a solid social media platform, so that way you can successfully build that brand.
I agree. Annika, that's a great point, and I love everything that you said. So we're going to take a couple minutes, pay the bills, and we'll be right back after this break. Hey, it's Eric here for our sponsors, Craft Creative. Now, when you're marketing and advertising, the name of the game is going to always be attention. But when all eyes are on you, you got to make it count. For premium video production and graphic design, visit Craft Creative at wecraftcreative.com. We don't make commercials, we craft creative. Hey, it's Eric from the AdCast, and I want to tell you about our sponsor, VIP Marketing, today. Now, you may hear all this talk about every agency is the best. The truth is, none are. But what you want is you want to definitely partner with some people that have time, team, and talent, and they got it. To learn more about VIP Marketing, go to veryimportantplacement.com.
You're listening to the AdCast, the podcast for marketers and advertisers with your host, Eric Elliott.
Hey, so Annika, we're back now after the break, and the one thing we were talking about was branding. That's a big thing because every business owner, they want to have a business, but they don't know how to brand their brand. I may write a book on that.
You should.
I'm going to write a book. Brand their brand. So on social, we talked about, how the business owners should be involved in the social media, not pulling the strings, but at least they should be the best marketer for their company that their company has, right?
Yes.
So when you're building the brand on social media, your recommendation was don't just have your niece do it because she likes to be on TikTok or she wants to be Facebook famous or whatever it is.
Right.
What are some of the steps that businesses should do when building a brand, and should they run ads on their Facebook pages?
Yes to the ads question.
Okay.
And one thing to that, we'll start off with the brand question. Okay. Again, you want to know who you are. Why did you start a business? What's your mission statement? What's your goal out of all of this? Who do you want to help? Again, it goes into the 5 W's of social media marketing. You want to pinpoint, those specifics.
Right.
If you don't have those locked down, your brand is going to be all over the place. I mean, you can't be a coffee shop and then have, all this coffee and then 54 sandwiches and all this different stuff. You can't have all these different hands and all these different baskets. If you're going to be a coffee shop, be a coffee shop. Don't be the artisanal sandwich maker of the South. You want to hone in on what it is that you're best at and where there's a need. So building that brand is developing something that people are going to be able to walk down the street and say, hey, like that's VIP. I think Kleenex is a great example of this. Every time someone sneezes, like, oh, do you need a Kleenex? No one says tissue
or Scott's.
No one says Scott's. No.
Right, exactly.
Or if you're thirsty, would you like a Coke? There are specific brands that have associated themselves so well with their products that they have become that product. So you can become that business,
But is it also, the brand, I think every brand also has a co-owner. They also have a co-owner, and that's a consumer.
Yes.
And you brought up some really good brands, but some folks may, let's just say McDonald's, they may have a brand, or even Nike may have a brand. Nike may see themselves as a shoe company, where others may view it as an apparel company or a clothing company, right? So it's like the customer who is a co-owner of the brand, they perceive it as one thing. So the one thing that you can do with the social media is have an influence with them and show them exactly what their brand, what they believe their brand is.
Yes.
And in Nike, in their commercials, for instance, their creative is like, you can take over the world as long as you wear these shoes, right? And then in some folks, it's like, this is just a better fitness choice,
Mm-hmm.
So if we're encouraging clients to build a brand on social media, right? We said stay away from the cute posting and all those things.
Yes.
So now, and you also said yes to running ads. Now, some folks, they think that if I just make a post, everyone's going to like it. I have 1,000 friends. And if I make this post, everyone's going to like it, or 1,000 Facebook likes.
And that's not the case anymore. Unfortunately, you have to pay to play. And what that means is, yes, you can post organically, and that's something that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a must. You want to have that platform, but you also need to have some money behind those Facebook ads.
Okay.
Facebook is such a monster right now, especially when it comes to advertising. They, again, bought Instagram. They're having their hands all over the place. They've actually started looking at other revenue options, like having a Facebook marketplace, but where you're actually buying directly from a place that ships to you. So they are doing all sorts of things, hands in different pots. Facebook is looking for that revenue in the best way that they can. They need to make business. They're a business in themselves. But if you really want your content to be seen, to be heard, unfortunately, you have to put money behind it. You have 1,000 followers or 1,000 friends. Only about maybe 3% of that content actually gets seen by those people. So it's a matter, again, of figuring out that algorithm, figuring out what works for your social media and your brand and your audience, and kind of tying it all up together into a package so that it does get seen. If you're really trying to get out there, and if you're trying to expand your business, grow your business, gain more clientele, gain more
followers,
anything, you want to pay to play. You want to stretch those ads a little further, get that engagement out, because there are a lot of people that are probably looking for a specific service that you offer, but they don't know how to find it. And again, you're scrolling through Facebook all the time. If there's a way to target those people. Bridget Thompson on VIP, she's great at it. There's a way to target those people and figure out, how to actually gain their attention and get that attraction. Once they see that ad, maybe that brings them over to your social media. And
in a perfect world.
In a perfect world, that's what it is. And it's that bait and reel. You want to throw the bait out, and once they see the bait, they're going to click on that ad. It's going to bring them to the actual Facebook page. Then that's when you reel them in.
I see more value in running let's just say if this were one local market, right? Running in one market. Let's just use Charlotte or Charleston. Let's say Charleston, for example. I bet you I could do more damage with a $10,000 budget in Charleston on Facebook than I can with a $50,000 budget on television. What is it that you feel business owners are afraid of in making a true investment in social media?
I think they believe that they are wasting money. They think that, well, I can just post, come to my dealership on their Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, that's number one right there.
Right there. They say, come to my dealership, come buy a car from me, or come to my law firm. But you're only reaching the 50 people that like your page. Again, your uncle, your brother, your mom, your dad, not that broad audience, the people that actually need you.
Right.
So when you go into Facebook ads and you actually have someone to work with who knows that background and knows how to tweak it just right and target the people that are looking for a new car or may be in the market for a new car, it's easier to gain those fish, to reel them in. It's not wasting your money. You're going to get more audience, more of an audience, you're going to get more leads if you put money into Facebook.
So you have to invest.
You have to invest.
You got to invest in it. So you
have
got
to
to invest in
to
it.
be the best.
Got to invest. How about creative? Is creative important on Facebook?
Absolutely. One thing that I see a lot with clients that come in is that they have so much education and educational information about their business, and they want to just throw it out there and be like, we know so much about what we're talking about. I just want to share it with the world. And their posts are so long. You get lost in it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be putting a novel on Facebook or Instagram. It'll get lost. The point will get lost. So what you want to do is you can break up that long paragraph into multiple pieces of content. You want it to be short, sweet, to the point, engaging. One thing that Facebook really works off of is conversations. If they see that post is having a conversation or starting a conversation, it's more likely to come up on other people's feed.
Okay.
So you can put something in and be like, my favorite coffee is, an iced macchiato with almond milk. Tell us what your favorite afternoon coffee is in the comments below, and people will be like, hey, yeah, my favorite is, I like this. I like a Frappuccino. I like that. And once those comments start rolling in, more people will see it. It's all about reactions, comments. Even if you share that post through Messenger, people will see it. And that will start gaining more traction. The Facebook algorithm will say, this is something that people want to know about. If it's friends of friends, it's a whole mess. It's a whole jumble of spaghetti. But they figure out a way how to get it to a person if it starts a conversation. So you want your content to spark a conversation. You want to engage people. And again, that's as easy as asking a question. People love talking about themselves.
That's true.
You can just ask people, what are you up to today? Oh, why is blue your favorite color? People will keep talking. That's how you make friends. You just want to do that on a social media platform. Ask them about it. Instagram has actually turned the point where it's become more of an educational platform than anything else. Used to be just photos. Now people go there for education. So when you post something, you want that attention grabber. But then you also want to break it down. Break down that post that you have. Say, why this is important. And it doesn't have to be an expansive graphic. It can be super simple. But as long as it gains someone's attention to click on that post and go through, hit the see more button on the post, and they'll learn. They'll learn about your company, about your business, about your brand, what you have to say if you break it down into simple terms.
Does see more work? I saw a post the other day from someone. They were talking about the buttons on it. Learn more, see more. Are people inclined to click on a button like that says see more or learn more?
I'm a very nosy individual, so for me, yes. If you have an engaging headline, the first line that shows up on your post, if that's something that's an attention grabber that brings you in, if it's a question or, a major statement, people will be like, whoa, what is she talking about? See more. If it's just something like, I was walking down the street the other day. Oh, cool. You want to put something that, again, that bait and reel tactic, something that's going to grab attention, something that's going to be thrown out at you.
There's one network that we have not talked about or we haven't mentioned, and it's YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube is beyond just funny videos or America's Funniest Home Videos as it used to be looked at. It is a content source as well.
Yes.
Do you feel, let's just say in our space, we work with a lot of automotive people, legal people, medical. Do you think they are utilizing their YouTube channel properly?
No.
You said that really quick.
I did. When YouTube first came out, people were going on and doing, makeup tutorials and vlogs, day in the life.
Mm-hmm.
It's become more of a secondary TV source, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Instead of, watching cable networks or whatnot, people go to Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, and that's where they want to gain that information. They want to be entertained. It has to be that engaging content that just drives them to want to know more. And that content can't just be shot on your iPhone. It can't just be thrown together, using Splice on your iPhone or some random app. You want to make sure that YouTube content, video content is prime.
I agree. Here's what we're going to do. We have to get into more. We still haven't gotten into Twitter and Instagram and also a little more Facebook, probably Facebook ads. We may have Bridget join us on that episode and talk more YouTube. So I'm going to end this episode and I'm going to say this one needs to be continued. This is the AdCast. If you feel this podcast has been a help to you or could be a help to others, please don't forget to subscribe. You can listen to our podcast anywhere, iHeart, Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And this episode is also going to be available on YouTube. To catch up on past episodes, go to heyi'meric.com, or you can always text me at 843-483-1555.
Copyright VIP Marketing and Advertising, produced by Craft Creative. For premium video production and graphic design, visit WeCraftCreative.com.